Live on location again, everybody. Welcome along to Forever United TV. De Zerbi has quit his post as manager at Brighton. What does that mean? The managerial merry-go-round is well and truly underway, and the season hasn't even finished. Our manager's just making them decisions now in preparation for when the season ends tomorrow. Well, ends tomorrow for most teams. Obviously, United have got City in the cup final. We're probably going to have to wait a week longer before we get confirmation about Ten Haag. But all of the players and the main players are now available. Everyone who Manchester United have been linked with is pretty much now a free agent for Ineos to go and choose who they want to take to Manchester United. If you want to get rid of Ten Haag, that's Ineos. Not asking you that question. I'm just asking Ineos because I know that they watch the channel as well. They don't, but you know, I've got to try, Anna. Welcome along, people. Get in the live chat. Let me know what you're saying. Let me know what you think about De Zerbi. For me, you all know where I stand with De Zerbi. You know that I'm not a fan. I'm really not a fan of De Zerbi's. I don't think United will go for him. There are rumours and there are noises coming out that Manchester United have been looking at De Zerbi as one of the managers. Hello, everyone. Hello, Louise. Hello, Roddy. Everyone in the chat. I can see your comments popping up. Kaz has had to go and get herself ready and get sorted, so I've got no one to read the comments out. So if you could just bear with me on certain comments, I can still see them coming up. So let's get them in. Let me know what you think. Get the likes up as well, everybody. Please share the video and make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Live on location, lots going on. Obviously, in preparation for Brighton, we are doing everything on the go this weekend. It's absolute madness. I'll be dropping out a members video, like I said earlier on, after this stream as well, guys. So if you are a member or want to be a member, then make sure that you are ready for that and you've got all your notifications on. Thank you to Tom for donating that earlier membership. I've seen it pop up. And yeah, again, massive thank you to all the people contributing to the channel, especially the regulars that do it continuously. So let's get into it. Roberto De Zerbi, announcement today, agreed with Brighton, mutual consent, that famous line. I don't know. I don't think so. I honestly look at it, and I said this all along. I said Brighton are a sinking ship. Eventually they will go down. They cannot continue to chance selling best players and then hoping that their recruitment, which has been good, which has had a lot of hits, it cannot get hit after hit after hit. Law of averages would say that them players run out and eventually it will catch up with them. 10th in the league. A few injuries, yes, this season. It's not helped at all, but strange that De Zerbi has gone 2 years in charge. Again, it's like that 2-year mark, isn't it? Every time the 2-year mark comes around, it's done, finished. Manager has to be moved on, or they get itchy feet and decisions are made. I just don't know what is going on anymore with managers in the Premier League. Now that Klopp's gone, are we going to see the same thing at Liverpool? It's going to be really interesting to see how a lot of clubs with new managers start out next season. What is the plan? What is the plan for a lot of teams going into next season? This is why this summer is going to be absolutely mega. We have gifted memberships, I think. It's hard for me to see on the screen. I think Kaz has just shouted at me in the background. I think it was Daz Salford. Guys, if you have been gifted a membership, I can't see it on my screen because we're on Mobile Go right now, but make sure you please thank Daz in the chat for that. I can see everyone doing it already. Thank you so much. That shows what this community is like. I know what's happening just because of people's reactions, and that is what this channel is all about. We are a community. We bring in the people's chats in and everyone's comments and everyone's opinions, and everyone backs everybody up. We fall out sometimes, but we make up and we get on with it, don't we? Back to De Zerbi, and credentials touted by Pep as a great manager. That's all anyone has lived off. He plays a nice brand of football at times, but like any manager, he needs to have the right tools at his disposal. He needs to have them players there constantly all the time. Otherwise, it does not work for him. So you look at him and I would go, he's no different or no better than Ten Haag in my book. And when you look at all of the managers that Manchester United have been linked with, even when they were in jobs this summer, they're all now available. So you've got Tuchel available, De Zerbi available, Potter, Southgate after England possibly. We'll have to wait a bit longer for that one to see if England pull the trigger there. But hey, Trev loves the new studio. It's great. Hotel curtains and all of that. We was out earlier on in the pub today. We're back in the hotel room now. And yeah, it is just content on the go, guys. I know you like it. I know you appreciate the effort and everything. The commitment to bringing you the daily content and the lives just to see your faces, even though I'm not looking at you, just to see comments. I'll round it off with that, I think. Yeah, but I just want your opinions on this one. He's absolutely... let me just see this here, because I'm just scrolling on my screen, guys, so bear with me. Ten Haag is staying. Why haven't Ineos ended speculation by saying Ten Haag is gone? I agree with that one. His football is much better than Ten Haag. Absolutely miles ahead. Honestly, I don't think he is. I really don't think he is. I mean, what have Brighton done this season? He should have been improving this season. But another manager like Eddie Howe, like Ten Haag, that struggled with that second season. A good season, then a bad one. They all need the best players. It's the managers that make something of the situations that stand out even more. I feel like that's important, and I think we have got a few managers this season that have been found out. Quite a few managers in the Premier League, in fact, that have been found out. I think we have a super chat in the house who was gifted. That's from Carol. Where is your glass of beer? Sorry, Carol. Appreciate I appreciate the super chat, but sorry to let you down. We left them in the pub. Actually disappointed that we didn't get our complimentary chocolates yet. Really gutted about that. Truffle chocolates, it was part of the deal, and they're not here. So, I mean, come on. Jordan says, I think manager merry-go-round will last for a few weeks. For a few years, sorry. These managers moving like Slot won't last. Cheers for all your comments as well, guys. Adam, Brighton's squad is poorer this season. They had key players who left and not replaced the same to the same level. Well, I said this before, Brighton, right at the top of the show. If anyone is just tuning in right now, Brighton are living on the edge. They cannot continue the way that they are going. It is impossible to survive that way. Southampton have tried it. Get their best players through and then sell them on and try and replace them. The recruitment has to be banged on. It's been decent for Brighton, but he has run out of players. And like I said, yeah, it's all right saying that he's missing players. It's all right saying that it's different this season because them players haven't been replaced. But it just goes to show that he hasn't got what he needs without the best players. He cannot do, what he needs without the best players. That's like Pep. Pep is useless in a team that is trying to find the style or trying to make something happen with injuries. I don't think he survives. I really don't. But it's the same with a lot of managers now. They're using the excuse of injuries. They're using the excuse of not having recruitment coming through. And you're waiting for a coach to actually come out and actually just deal with a situation. I mean, you look at Pochettino this season and Eddie Howe. Not much complaining, more injuries than anybody, and still playing a decent brand of football. They understand where they're at. It's the ones that start moaning that start getting the pressure heaped on them. And I'm not saying De Zerbi is of that, but the expectation level at Brighton as well is nowhere near what it is at the top clubs. Do you think that De Zerbi will be able to handle the expectations of Manchester United? That, I feel, is... that's a question that you need to ask. I honestly don't see De Zerbi doing any better than Erik ten Hag. I may be completely wrong on that one. It's just my opinion of De Zerbi, which is why I wanted to get in the show. There's quite a few of you who disagree with what I'm saying, which is completely fine. I like that. I want to see why you guys think. And someone just popped up in a comment there in terms of how De Zerbi has enhanced Evan Ferguson's career and like where he's come from. Like they have brought through recruitment-wise some very, very good players. They have improved a lot of players as well. I will agree with that one. Well, if De Zerbi goes to Munich, like who was it? I can't remember who said that there. Then sorry, Richie saying De Zerbi to Bayern Munich. Maybe he has got something that I don't see. I just don't think he's the right fit for United right now where we're at. I don't. Like I said, he may completely prove me wrong, but I've looked at Brighton this season. They play some pretty football. I'll give him that, and it is an all right brand of football, but I think he falls down again when it matters. And that's what you need at Manchester United. You need a manager that has got that something extra. The playing style is great. It's great. We need that, I know. And you can argue with me about the playing style between Ten Hag and De Zerbi. Yes, you're probably right. I'll hold my hands up and say the football looks better on the eye with De Zerbi. But he makes some weird decisions, De Zerbi, for me. And there's a reason why they have fallen down. Not just because of the injuries, but certain decisions that have been made in games that they've just capitulated in, and I mean serious capitulations, like you losing 4-0 to Luton, games like this season, where did that come from? Even when you've got a few injuries, you don't lose 4-0. I mean, I'm one to talk with the way that United turned up against Crystal Palace and everything like that. I know I sound hypocritical, I really do, but I'm looking at a manager replacing a manager. That's why I'm talking about it. So it's really interesting with De Zerbi and how Brighton have gone from where they was to where they are this season. The fall off, whether there's a fallout and the players have known for a while, you've probably not known about it simply because it's not United, it's only Brighton. And Brighton don't get the headlines like United do. So I think that's where we've got to look at this one and go, it's just Brighton, no disrespect. I hate saying that because we're playing them tomorrow. And you know what happens. Like, there'll be a big send-off. De Zerbi gets a win on his last game, and all the headlines will be already set up there, perfect for United. I just hate it. But why do these announcements always come just before United come into town? It's a pain in the bleeding ass. It really is. But, guys, you keep your comments coming in. Let me know. And if you think De Zerbi is the right man and United should be going for him, he's now a free agent. He is there to be taken by someone. Where he will go, I do not know, but I do believe that someone has tapped De Zerbi up for this to come out now. Right on the end of the season, knowing that there are some big clubs needing managers, him and his agent will probably have looked at this. There probably has been communication with some of the big clubs with De Zerbi. There probably has been talks with United. There probably been talks with Bayern, possibly Barcelona at times, with the knowing that Xavi was going to leave, but now he's not. It's what happens in football. Everybody has got another job lined up. When this happens and you get this mutual decision between both club and manager, there is always another job lined up. It's just which one that De Zerbi is going to walk into now, I think. I'm happy to sit here and say that I am wrong with De Zerbi. There's just something about him that doesn't fit right for me at all. And do you know what I mean? I will back managers. You know what my opinion is of Tuchel. I just feel like United's approach shouldn't be the make weight, which I think De Zerbi will be for Manchester United, because I don't see him winning anything straight away. I want a manager to come in that then doesn't need to be moved on. So there are certain managers you can bring into United right now where the expectation level isn't the same as others. For instance, if Tuchel came in, people will be saying, well, you brought him in because he's a winner. He wins trophies wherever he goes. We want trophies. That pressure, I don't think, will be on the other managers that we're talking about. No one's going to expect Southgate, Potter, De Zerbi, these types of managers to win trophies at United straight away. I think it's different for Tuchel. I think he's under more pressure, and he wants that, I feel. I think he wants that challenge of taking United to that next level. And then, again, I don't think De Zerbi is a long-term manager. I don't. I think he goes from club to club, and his career has proved that. And I think his next job, if he does go to a big club, will probably last 18 months, 2 years again. I think there are limitations to what he does. And to play that high-octane, high-level pressing football and then bring that into a top-flight club like he would be doing going to United or Bayern. We found out this season, because of the injuries that they got and the amount of games they had with Europe, that you cannot do it. It's impossible to maintain it. You have to be able to mix and match your squad. You have to be able to rest players. And that's the level that... I just know what, thinking about that, that kind of defeats my argument again a little bit. I don't mind proving myself wrong in shows either, but if United are not in Europe next season, De Zerbi will probably do all right next year because he hasn't got European football to deal with, and he can get that training method and that style of football across. I'll stick to my guns and say, look, if we're bringing De Zerbi in, I think he's pretty much just on the same level as what Ten Haag is right now. I don't think it's a massive improvement, and... I mean, I'm stuck because I can see the style of football that you all saying that he can play, but I'm not convinced by it. I'm not convinced by it at all. Another manager rejection, Bayern, De Zerbi says Batman rules. Get some comments coming in, guys. I'm going to read off a few quickly. Jeez, I hope my mic holds on. I know the battery's quite low, but yeah, we'll persevere with it. Didn't realise that. I really want De Zerbi, says Danish Iqbal. Eric Ten Haag, all the way, says Wesley Mank. He's the same level, but better people skills. Do you reckon? He seems a bit feisty to me, De Zerbi. He seems like he's got a little bit of bite. That might actually be a good thing. Phil Neville is a motivator. If you know, you know. Again, jumped in on the wrong one there. Jumped in. Let me just see what else we've got. Trevor says, Tuchel falls out with all boards he is working for. He will not be good at United. You should watch my video from yesterday, actually, on that, Trevor, because I kind of made a different approach to it. And it's not all that with Tuchel. It isn't. Right? The reason why he fell out is because good players at PSG were being let go, and not for any money. They were all being let go for free, and he opened up in public about it, and Leonardo didn't like it. I want Tuchel over anyone else that's been mentioned so far. That's my manager. I'll live and die on that sword. I know, but I just see things in Tuchel that I think he can handle at Manchester United. But this is the problem we've got with the fan base, and this is why I made the video about the merry-go-round, the managerial merry-go-round. There's no guarantee that any of these managers are going to be the best fit for any of these clubs that are taking them. Like Slot at Liverpool, that is the complete unknown. Which Dutch manager has been able to handle the Premier League? There's none. There's none in history. Is he going to be the first one simply because it's Liverpool? I hope not. I hope it falls flat on his face and Liverpool drop down. I've seen that message, Graham. I've not listened or seen your other message before, but yeah, you got that one wrong. That made me giggle. Private joke, sorry guys. Keep the likes coming in, guys. We're creeping up to the 100 mark. Thank you very much, everybody. Barada admires De Zerbi. I see that. I know. Afternoon to you as well, Lewis. Juventus got to replace guys. Yeah, they do after sacking Allegri as well. There's some big clubs that need managers right now. If United are going to change manager, they need to act quite quick. And our season lasting a bit longer than anybody else's who needs one of these managers, i.e. everyone who's in the market for a manager's season has ended this weekend. United's another week. I think we might get announcements this week in between Manchester United training leading up to the FA Cup final. And then we're going to be stuck. Because if we did want to change Ten Haag, then our manager that we want might have already gone, unless they have already lined someone up. And it is just a case of waiting until the FA Cup final and just announcing it then. I honestly feel, I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe they didn't want to take away the chance for Ten Hag to win a cup final or hamper any preparations for the final. It could be that. I just don't know. I don't know why they've decided to do it this way. It's a difficult one for me to understand. I thought they were cutthroat. Clearly not cutthroat. Does this just mean that he's staying? I do believe that after the FA Cup final, Ineos will make a decision. It'll come snappy. Either way, an announcement will be made a couple of days after, and we'll all know where we stand, and we can start looking ahead to the summer. We can bitch and we can moan as fans like we're supposed to do about whoever's in charge come the start of the season, but that's what will happen decision-wise. I think we have to get behind whoever is in charge for Manchester United, because it is a new era and it is a new turning of the page in terms of Manchester United and their history. I just feel like if we don't get it right under Ineos, then we are just going to spiral out of control completely. Let's see what some of you guys are saying message-wise. They'll announce it out of the blue like Barada. I like it when they do that. It's a bit more exciting. It is a bit more exciting. United doesn't have to announce anything if he's staying. They've not forced the issue. They've not forced the issue contract to. I mean, I think they do need to, because everyone's expecting something to happen, Jordan. I think it'll be an appreciation for the fans that they do announce what's happening either way. They have to come out and say something, because everybody knows that Manchester United going into a new season off the back of our worst in our history, that cannot be ignored. It has to be dealt with one way or the other. There needs to be a statement saying why Ten Hag is staying, what the contract situation is, I feel, because everybody knows he's got 1 year left and there's no offer on the table right now. There's not one bit of rumour or one word about Ten Hag staying and keeping his job. So we need to look at that, and we need to also be realistic with it, that if a manager is going into the last year of his contract, I've said this many a times before, there is never a guarantee that he is going to be staying the year after. And I've made the point of saying this all the time, like, where's Ten Hag's head at? Is he fully committed if he knows he isn't getting a contract extension? Why would he commit to certain players and transfers, younger players especially? It's like in his head, he has to be thinking, I could be doing all this work this season, next season that is, for someone else to step in when Ineos are comfortable and are in situ at Manchester United. That's what we need to be worrying about, I feel, because we want stability. We need to get an announcement either way. That's what I feel. Don't play Rashford again. Ahmad is miles better football IQ. I agree with that at the moment. 100 likes in the bag, guys. Thank you so much. Keep liking the video, share. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button as well, guys. Let's get as many people in the room. Believe it or not, some people put some comments on after that last video, and we're upset that we were bringing people's comments up. You cannot win on YouTube, can you? Some people don't like that. What you got to understand is we are a community more than anything here on FUTV. If you don't like to be involved in a community where everyone has a fair say, whether you agree or not, then sling you up. You're not welcome. I thought that was the best way to be. I thought that honestly is what football content and football debate is all about. Jordan, we have to shout out to the women's team losing 6-0. Skinner getting that contract and then losing 6-0. That's not good. That is not good for Skinner. Not a good start. And Sir Alex was there today as well. God. Embarrassing for Manchester United at home, that it really is. It is like one of them Crystal Palace games for the first team, I would say that. Someone didn't like comments getting read out. How weird. Yeah, them people in the chat, not in the chat, sorry, actually in the comments later, the little sly comments that you get because they haven't got the bottle to come on and argue it out in the live chat with everybody. They're the ones, they're the people. You can't win, you can't win. Daz just mentioned Marcus Rashford there in the team. Me and Kaz were joking around with our 4-4-2 formations earlier on, guys. Looking at that game tomorrow, with the injuries that Brighton have got, I don't expect them to be the force that they was in the previous meetings that we've had with them. I think Manchester United should be favourites with the team that we've got going into that game tomorrow. And that's the first time that I've said that in a while going into an away game. Like Crystal Palace with that lineup that we had and the injury issues and how well they were playing, I just went straight in. I didn't think United were favourites, and it played out that way. But in terms of Brighton, I just feel like with De Zerbi going, the injuries that are there, I just feel like it's going to be I don't know, it's not so much bittersweet because he has done well there. I'm confident United can get the win tomorrow. I have a weird feeling. It's like what Graham said to me on Wednesday after the Newcastle game. We owed Newcastle, we did. We definitely owed them a result. And we 100% owe Brighton a result. A lot of averages. Again, I know we're clutching at straws a little bit here, and we should be looking at styles of play and certain players and how we win games and phases of play and all of that. But right now we're clinging on to everyone. Adam, big respects. Thank you, Dan. Love that. Trolls out, please. Yes, Rodet, you can deal with them. But they're never brave enough to come in the live chat, mate. So don't worry about them too much. I hope De Zerbi gets a job. Gets a job where, Jason? A job at United? A few fab tweets on De Zerbi. I don't know, I'll check on them. Obviously, I can't see anything right now because I'm limited equipment. But I think De Zerbi will have a new job come the start of next season. The question is, who is it going to be with? That is the one that's up in the air. Like loads of people. Adam for Talk Sports, yeah. Definitely better than a lot of the people that are on there. I'll say that for certain. I would prefer Thomas Tuchel over De Zerbi. I'm with you on that one. We have a super chat, I think, there from Post Life. Absolutely mega. Thank you so much, mate. It isn't the injuries, rather Eric Ten Hag's inflexibility with squad choice. Sorry, my screen is a bit wobbly with that because I'm just trying to read it. No supporter would begrudge being out of the Champions League qualification due to injuries out of the table position. Position is down to Eric Ten Hag's management. So basically, upon life there, I totally agree with what he's saying. It's the finishing 8th in the league. It's like, me and Kaz were like looking at each other last night and we're like, we're 8th. How is everyone just talking normally? Like, why are we not kicking off Royal? Can you imagine Real Madrid, Barcelona finishing 8th, Bayern Munich finishing 8th in their league? These are clubs that we used to put ourselves alongside. I don't understand the family. I just cannot get my head around how people can accept this No, it's not all Ten Hag's fault. But he is the one that's making the excuse that this squad is not good enough. A squad that he has brought together himself, large portions of it. A lot of them players that are coming in for so-called injured players are Ten Hag players. And they're just not cutting the mustard, and he's not able to get what he needs to get out of them. So the problem is injuries. The problem, bigger than that, is Ten Hag and his man management and his adaptability to change things up. He needs to be flexible in the Premier League. Otherwise, you get found out, and you get found out fast. And we have found that this season. Teams look at United and they're not scared anymore. There is no fear factor at Manchester United. I mean, the team tomorrow that's going out against Brighton, I think, more than, like I just said a moment ago, it's more than comfortable enough, I feel, to beat Brighton. If we lose tomorrow with defenders back in the team, what are we going to say then? What are we going to say? Like, it's pretty much got everyone available now. Everyone's available. Are we just going to say and make another excuse if we don't win tomorrow and say, well, them players have only been back a certain amount of time, and we can't expect them to start playing well straight away? When are the excuses going to stop? When is this finally going to sink in with a lot of the United fan base that this is not acceptable? It's not good enough. We are used to much more. And you can say I'm snobbish, you can say I'm nostalgia FC and living in the past and all of that, but we're still paying them prices even more so than what we was back then for them players that really wanted to play for the shirt. So as long as we've got these big names at the football club, as long as we're paying stupid amounts of money for these players and the wages that they're earning, I expect a lot more than what I'm seeing. This is Manchester United. This doesn't happen to big clubs. You don't finish 8th and get away with it. It's just not acceptable. And Ineos, who want to be best in class, will be seeing this, will look at this, and they will definitely act on it. I am fully convinced Ten Hag could win his last 2 games. We might scrape into some form of Europe because we beat City in the final. It may help him. It may just about keep his job. But I feel like Ineos should have already made a decision. Ineos should have either sacked Ten Hag earlier on, when it looked like we couldn't get in the Champions League, which was a while ago, or he should have just come out and said, look, no, Ten Hag is the manager next season. That should have been said. That should have been done. And that's the one decision that I'm not happy about with Ineos. I'm not for this. Let's just let him play out this final. No one person is bigger than the club. You deal with the situation that's in hand. Man United are not in the Champions League next season. You're not good enough. See you later. That's not acceptable at this football club. It cannot be acceptable. Jonathan made a great question to me last night or the night before. Adam, would you be happy then with the new manager not getting in the top 4? I'm not going to shirk them questions. I'm not going to move away from it. I can sound completely contradictory by saying if that manager, if Tuchel, say, for instance, came in and didn't make top 4 next season, I'm going to sound stupid if I say that that's all right. I understand the position we're in, but I want to see what happens in the summer as well. If Tuchel gets backed, I think we are then looking at it going, right, Manchester United need to be in the conversation for top 4. Otherwise, I won't like it. We're going to be talking about another manager that's going to lose his job. There is a bare minimum standard line for United, which is being in the Champions League every single season, at least. To accept that that isn't the standard, and that's okay to not be in the Champions League, is basically setting the bar even lower and going, this is okay. And then players play to that, and what do you expect these players to do? You've got fans leading Marcus Rashford because of things that he's done last season. I don't care about last season. Last season isn't going to help this season. Proper players, world-class players, players at the so-called biggest clubs, which United are, do it consistently, season in, season out. If you don't, then you're not good enough. You haven't got the mental strength to handle playing every single year, competing at the highest level. That is the minimum. When you sign for United, you should be expecting to play against the Barcelonas, Madrids, Bayerns, Dortmunds, PSGs of this world every single season. If you're not prepared for that and you're making excuses for not being in them competitions or playing at that table of football, the high table, then I don't think you belong at Manchester United. That is purely my opinion alone. You guys can tell me if you think I'm being harsh. I'm a little bit old school with that and everything, but if you, say for instance, got rid of a lot of these players that are on big earning wages, you're probably at that standard where a lot of the fan base are at right now. And things that are happening right now at Manchester United, they should be happy because that's the standard there. That's the line. You get rid of your Brunos, you get rid of your Casemiros, your Varans, your Rashfords, all of these big high roller players, the big pin-up ones, the brand FC players like that, the big names, you know what I mean? Like every club's got them. If you got rid of them, then you should feel comfortable in yourself accepting the level where we're at right now, because them players we know have all got the capabilities to win the best trophies. They already have done. They've already competed at the highest level in the biggest games. Why are they not doing it now? Why are they not doing it now? That's the question. Is it because they're not good enough? Or is it because the manager cannot get more out of them? How much responsibility do them players take on their shoulders for not performing on the pitch and using the manager as an excuse, like loads of them have? And this is where I am on Ten Hag's side with things. I do back him when it comes to the player situation. But the thing that I won't accept, alongside the players not having the mental strength to deal with playing for Manchester United, is a manager that uses excuses for getting things wrong. He has got things wrong and never held his hands up once while being at Manchester United. Not once. As he put his hand up and said, I got that wrong. We can be better. There's always an excuse, and people are not looking into it. They're not looking at what Ten Hag is saying. It's not acceptable. It's simply not acceptable. And now we've got Ineos coming in. It's a whole different era about to start at Manchester United, and where they start off in pre-season and into next season will tell you exactly what Ineos' plan is, where they expect United to be. Is it going to be where Sir Jim Ratcliffe said we want to be in that interview, in 3 months competing for trophies? The only trophies he's talking about is the Champions League and the Premier League. You only have to watch the programme. It's like Sir Jim Ratcliffe was watching that 99 programme on Amazon last night. That's what he's watching, because Manchester United of them days, and no, I'll go back to what we said earlier on in the video, where I'm not comparing the 99 and the 2018 to now. I cannot do that. That's not fair. But the standards of them, 2 generations, have to be kept in the modern day. Otherwise, you can forget this club ever progressing again or ever competing at that level. The standards have dropped at Manchester United. So Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos are back to bring them back up, which is why I fully expect them to make that decision and sack Erik Ten Hag. If they don't, I want to see a plan. I want to see what they want from Ten Hag and what they expect from Ten Hag, and then an action on top of that. Because there has to be a plan going forward for Ineos. Manchester United fans have suffered long enough, and people can say we're snobbish in that, but we take more stick than anybody, fan base wise, when things go wrong. We've got Arsenal fans absolutely bantering the arse out of us, laughing at us for our roof leaking and our football team being shit. You know what I mean? We have been I've been to every single away ground in this league, and it feels like we're just getting the mickey taken out of us wherever we go right now. That's what I've sat there watching absolute crap opposition. No disrespect, but teams that United should be beating. And I know that anyone can beat anyone in the Premier League, but for it to happen season and season and season, and game after game after game, that's where you have to draw the line. You have to draw the line. I'm sounding like an Arsenal fan. You know what I was saying before regarding Arsenal? It's all right, Arsenal fans bantering United and everything like that, but I use the comparison of managers with the tennis players. Mikel Arteta is like Andy Murray coming through. He's a great player, but he's not going to be as good as a Djokovic, Nadal or Federer. It's the perfect example, because he's in and he's been fighting against Klopp. He's been fighting against Pep. He's been fighting against other great managers. I think Manchester United's timing of coming back around again, when we get it right, I think Pep's going to be gone. I think we're just waiting around for it to all just simmer down and then United take over again. That's my sort of fairy tale ending to all of this. But You have to earn it first. You have to earn it. And I just don't think Manchester United have earned the right to be in the Premier League. And that should tell you exactly why I feel the way I feel right now. I feel let down by the manager, by the players, by everything at this football club. As a fan, I feel like they have just taken us for a ride. It starts at the top and comes all the way down. And we've said this is why this summer is so exciting, because at the top it's changed. And step by step by step, all the way down, it has also changed. There is one more step to make, and that's the manager. And then we'll see the squad start to actually be, what's the word I'm looking for, best for, dissected probably is the best word to say. That Manchester United squad, for what Man United squad's going to be come this summer. It is going to be one hell of a summer, I feel. And I think things are moving around in place right now. I don't know why it's happened on this summer. With United with new owners, Liverpool needing a new manager, like Bayern Munich, all of what's going on right now, it all seems to be coming into this one summer window, which just spells out absolute carnage. In the middle of a Euros as well. Like, everyone is going to be scrambling around for everything. That's what we've got to prepare ourselves for. It's going to be one crazy few months coming up, guys. Another football finishes in a week's time at Wembley, and that's that. The content will continue, obviously, and we will move forward with transfer shows on location everywhere, bringing you all the news that is going on. We'll find out some extra information from behind the scenes if we can and everything like that. We will just take it to the next level here on FUTV. And of course, barring the trolls, we will bring you guys in on the conversation as well and get your opinions on it. But make sure you are tuning in tomorrow as well. So I want to, again, just remind members before we finish, there will be a members video going out tonight with more information about what's happening tomorrow and some other stuff coming up as well in the next couple of months. So make sure you're tuned into that, everybody. And again, I just want to say a massive thank you again, everybody tuning in. I know it's busy on Saturday, everyone's out and about, but we've had good numbers again watching and tuning in. Massive thank you to all the mods and members, again, all you guys who have subscribed, all the new members that have come on board, and all the contributors to the channel. We are almost done with the season, guys. One more league game tomorrow. It's going to be a bit of a special one. But again, thank you very much. We're going to end the video there, and I will see you all tomorrow. We are doing live outside. We're going to be outside the Amex. So it's going to be bright and early tomorrow. Good start leading up to the game. So match day vibes outside the Amex Stadium tomorrow. We're going to have plenty of people coming on talking as well. A few people in the chat right now are actually going to be at the game as well. So we'll bring you the extra content afterwards. So make sure you've got your notifications on and you're tuned in for everything that is going on after the Brighton game tomorrow. Last game of the season. Wow. Cheers, everybody. Appreciate you all. Thanks for all your contributions, like I said. Give the video a like on your way out. We have gone over 150 again. Epic. Absolutely brilliant. Cheers to all the contributors over the day. Tom, Carol, Pond Life, everyone else that's been involved in the chat as well. Cheers, guys. And I will see you all at the Brighton game tomorrow. Cheers, everyone.